So I read a story in a magazine a while back about a mother and son who every morning to start their day would walk hand in hand along the beach, with one foot in the water and one foot on the sand. One day, the little boy decided that he would drop his mother's hand and walk up the beach, and he went and collected a little fish that had been left behind by the tide in a rock pool. And he gathered it up very solemnly, very gently, and he paraded it down to the water's edge and threw it in, because it needed help getting home. Now, he kept doing this day after day, finding these little treasures on the beach and helping them get home. And one day he got too bold. He walked too far out into the surf, and a riptide grabbed his feet and started to pull him out to sea. Well, his mother was terrified, thinking that she'd lost him. But before she could dive in to try to save him, wouldn't you know it, a big wave picked the little guy up and very solemnly, very gently, threw him back up on the shore, because that's where he belonged. I've always loved that story because it talks about balance, it talks about kindness and doing little things to help others out without expecting reward, but sometimes they come back to you. This is our version of it. It's called Fisherman's Boy.
Fisherman's boy with a bucket of water goes walking each day on the shore, looking in tide pools and crannies for fish that were stranded. Sure-handed he'd gather them all, throwing them back to the ocean, back to the living once more. Throwing them back to the ocean, back to the living once more. So soon he was throwing the nets like his father and hauling them back to the shore, but taking the time to be careful and sort the unneeded from those he would stow in the hole, and throwing them back to the ocean, back to the living once more. Throwing them back to the ocean, back to the living once more. Near the rocks of Point Clary, they searched till the night drove them home. But in the morning they found him alive and unbattered, where shattered wood littered the stone. He'd been thrown back from the ocean, back to the living once more. With a son and a daughter goes walking each day on the shore, looking in tide pools and crannies for fish that were stranded. Sure-handed they gather them all, throwing them back to the ocean, back to the living once more. Throwing them back to the ocean, back to the living once more. Throwing them back to the ocean, back to the living once more.